Hi class, today we're going to be reviewing story structure. Stories most of the time have a similar structure, which means that they're created in the same way. Okay, so authors sometimes organize stories to entertain readers. And this is one way they structure the, the story. Excuse me. There is a beginning, middle, and an end. Okay? In the beginning of the story, the character faces a problem. A problem. Let's see what problem is. Problem is what goes wrong, a challenge, or an obstacle in the story. Okay? So the character if in case you don't know what character is the person or animal speaking in the story. Okay, so in the beginning the character is facing a problem, a challenge that they can't figure out. In the middle, they're trying to figure out how to solve the problem. Solving a resolution means how the problem is fixed. How can we fix this problem? So they're trying to figure out how to fix the problem in the middle. And then towards the end, there is a resolution and the character solves the problem. So they fixed the problem and they found a solution. Okay? Now that we've seen story structure, we are going to go to the book we're going to read today. And today we're reading Frog and Toad, the Letter. Okay? Frog and Toad are friends, the letter. Okay? Let's begin. Toad was sitting in his front porch. Frog came along and said, "What is the matter, Toad? You are looking sad." You see, he looks sad. And then here is Frog. Wait, before we continue, what are the two characters in the story? Correct, Frog and Toad. Okay, let's continue reading. "Yes," said Toad, "this is my sad time of the day. It is the time when I wait for the mail to come. It always makes me very unhappy." "Why is that?" asked Frog. "Because I never get any mail," said Toad. "Not ever?" asked Frog. "No, never," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter. Every day my mailbox is empty. That is why waiting for the mail is a sad time for me." Frog and Toad sat on the porch, feeling sad together. So what is the setting? We see that they're in the front porch, and there's a mailbox, and here are Toad and Frog. Good job. So they're outside, and it seems to be daytime. Okay, good job. Now, what is the problem that we see here? Yes, the problem is that Toad is sad because he never gets letters. And he's sad and wishes that someone would give him a letter, but he never has ever gotten a letter. So that is a problem. Let's see if we can find the solution. Then Frog said, "I have to go home now, Toad. There is something that I must do." Frog hurried home. He found a pencil and a piece of paper. He wrote on the paper. He put the paper in an envelope. On the envelope he wrote, "A letter for Toad." Frog ran out of his house. He saw a snail that he knew. "Snail," said Frog, "please take this letter to Toad's house and put it in his mailbox." "Sure," said Snail, "right away." Do you think Snail is going to get the letter to them super quick? Who knows? Let's see. Usually snails are slow. Yeah, they're usually very slow. So let's see if he will give it to Toad right away. And what do we see here? What did Frog do? Why did he leave? Why did he go back to his house? Yes, he went back to his house to write a letter to Toad. So what do we see here? we see what? That Frog is trying to figure out a way to solve the problem. He's trying to figure out a way how he can make Toad happy. And the way he thought he could solve the problem is by creating and sending a letter to Toad. Now let's keep reading. Then Frog ran back to Toad's house. Toad was in bed taking a nap. "Toad," said Frog, "I think you should get up and wait for the mail some more." "No," said Toad, "I am tired of waiting for the mail." Frog looked out the window at Toad's mailbox. The snail was not there yet. "Toad," said Frog, "you never know when someone may send you a letter." "No, no," said Toad, "I do not think anyone will ever send me a letter." Frog looked out the window. The snail was not there yet. "But Toad," said Frog, "someone may send you a letter today." "Don't be silly," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter before, and no one will send me a letter today." Frog looked out the window. The snail, do you think he's gonna be there? Nope, it says the snail was still not there. "Frog, why do you keep looking out the window?" asked Toad. "Because now I am waiting for the mail," said Frog. "But there will not be any," said Toad. "Oh yes, there will," said Frog, "because I have sent you a letter." "You have?" said Toad. "What did you write in the letter?" Frog said, "I wrote, 'Dear Toad, I am glad that you are my best friend. Your best friend, Frog.'" "Oh," said Toad, "that makes a very good letter." Then Frog and Toad went out onto the porch to wait for the mail. They sat there, feeling happy together. Frog and Toad waited a long time. 4 days later, the snail got to Toad's house and gave him the letter from Frog. Toad was very pleased to have it. The end. So, what was the solution? How did they make Toad feel happy? Correct. Frog wrote a letter and got Snail to take Toad a letter so he could be happy because he was sad, and the problem was that he was sad because he never got letters, but he finally did get a letter. Good job. Okay, now we are going to complete this written response. You are going to put your name, the date, and then we are going to talk about the problem and the resolution. So first, I would like for you to draw what was the problem in the story. To give me 3 details and 3 labels. I want you to label your pictures. So first, draw the problem in the story, and then label 3 things of your drawing. Once you're done with that, I want you to write a sentence about what was the problem. Okay, so write a sentence. Remember that when you write a sentence, you start with a capital letter, then you leave spaces in between each word, and in the end, you have a period, or it can be an exclamation mark or a question mark depending on what type of sentence it is, but most sentences have a period. So you're going to do that for problem, and then for resolution you're going to be doing the same thing. So for resolution, or what was the solution, how did they fix that problem, I want you to draw that here. Put 3 labels of how you can solve this problem, or how did Frog solve the problem in the story, and then I want you to write a sentence once again with capital letter, spaces, and a period, telling me about how they solved the problem. Okay, so a picture of how they solved the problem with 3 labels and then a sentence. Okay, once you are done, please take your paper to my table so I can grade it. Thank you.